Hey, my name's Furr. I'm going to do a 3 to 4 part series on sweeping. Uh, so this one is going to be very simple. It's going to just be over straight D major 7, the arpeggio, and we're going to go over the basic techniques first. The next videos will get more advanced and so forth. So this one, first we're going to want to talk about your pick. You know, however you hold it is fine. It doesn't have to be just like I hold it. You know, it's not that strict of a thing. And you want to pick, like when you sweep, your pick has to be at an angle, as you can kind of see. Not very straight up and down, because it catches. And your pick doesn't need to dig in too deep, to be honest. So just kind of flow. It's just a very flowing, relaxed motion. Relax both hands, and it'll come naturally over time. And that brings me to the next point. Don't play too slow for sweeping, but don't play ridiculously fast either. This is one of the techniques, though, that you don't want to be playing at like 50 beats a minute, because that's a lot harder than it would be to do at like 120. But 120 is a lot easier than like 300, obviously. So I'd say start at like about 120, get comfortable with that, and then slowly, gradually move up. You want to make sure that whenever you do any sweeps, that this hand is letting go of the note that you played previously, so that way there's not bleeding, like it's not like you're holding a chord. And that also has to do with this hand, though. So this part of your hand right here, this meaty, fleshy part, is what you use to palm mute. So that is kind of what blocks off the string as you go down. Whether you use your wrist or your fingers or your whole arm, that's what you need to be using to cut those notes that you already pass. So now to get to the individual sweep here. This one is just simple, very simple, 3-string sweep. You can phrase it 2 different ways that I'm going to show you. You can do legato, or you can do legato is the same as hammer-on. It's much more smooth. Or you could pick it, which is going to be a little bit more accented. So it just depends on what kind of sound you're wanting. It's better to know both than it is to know just one, because sometimes we'll call for different sounds or different ways of phrasing. For picking, it's going to be up, down, 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 up, down, up, down. Simple as that. So the next thing that I'd have to say is, once you get into the bigger sweeps, you know, not so much this one, because like I said, it's very simple. It's really going to come into play with this whole palm muting thing. This isn't as big a deal here because it's less strings. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. But when you get into like 5 strings, that, if you don't do it, then see, you can even hear that on clean channel. So make sure to practice that. And for practice sake, you want to do it on clean and distortion channels, switching back and forth. I do 10 on clean and then like 1 on distortion, because on distortion, this is a much bigger deal than it is on the clean channel. Okay, and that's just one example, and it goes both ways though too. So where a note sounds like a note on distortion when going fast, it won't on a clean channel. So it's good to switch between the two and, you know, get comfortable with both. And if you're having a problem with too staccato sounding, like that, then you might want to speed it up a little bit, because if you're doing this, like, this is like individual picking. This isn't a flow like that. And that's glide picking, which you don't want to get into the habit of either way. And turning up your reverb a little bit can help this as well. But also, just remember to have like really good technique when you're practicing it, so that way you develop good habits. It's better to learn this the right way, and believe it or not, you'll learn it faster. It's not like if you practice sloppy, you're going to get better faster. So, with all that in mind, I guess that's all there is to show you. And this pattern is, applicable anywhere on the neck if you want to do C major 7, D major 7. Doesn't matter where you play it. So, you'll get faster as time goes on. And once you get this down, check out my other video, which is going to be the second one, and that one will go more into 6-string stuff and sweep tapping and multi-finger tapping stuff. So that one will be much more advanced, clearly, and it'll be something to build off. It'll be built off of this stuff. That's a better way to say it. So get this down first, and then check that one out. And leave any comments, or if you have any questions, feel free to message me, or even any requests. Like if you want to learn how to do something, just leave me a comment or a message, and I'll be sure to post something.